Okay, testing. Testing, testing. Testing, testing, testing. Testing, 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 testing. Testing, testing. Okay. If there's anybody in the chat, hey, Nazarene, welcome to everybody in the chat. Can anybody hear me? Can you hear me, Nazarene, or anybody? Type 1, let me know the microphone if I can be heard, if the audio is okay. Can you hear me? Testing. 1, 2. Can anybody hear me? Just type 1 if you can hear me. Anybody? And if nobody, okay. Oh, good. Thanks, Nazarene. Hey, you got to send me your information, bro, that you want me to put on the index card so I can personalize it and send it to you. So don't forget to do that, okay? Okay, good. You can hear me okay? Good. All right, brethren, let me go ahead and offer a prayer before I begin the video today. Heavenly Father, Jehovah, I just pray for the video that you use it, that you'll use my video today so that we can be encouraged. Faithus, Jehovah, that the information that goes out, it would really edify brethren, encourage brethren, help to spread the light. Jehovah, in your name, thank you. So let it be. All right, brethren. Good to see everybody here on, thanks for joining me on my channel. I think today, the Creator is going to let me hit a home run today. I was meditating and he gave me some real good ideas to share online. And I'm super glad, man. The ideas he gave me to share. I'm going to share what I think. Okay, my mic was off. My mic was off. Okay. I'm going to share. The creator gave me an idea to share some of the famous prophecies, what the OAHSPE would have to say about some of the famous prophecies that we have heard in the Bible, like the one in Daniel and the one in Revelation. And the creator, he gave me the idea to see what the OAHSPE has to say about the prophecies that we have heard of, and some other things that I asked AI that I think you brethren are going to find interesting. I think you're going to really find it interesting. So I'm going to use AI to see what the what the OAHSPE, what it says about some of the famous quote unquote prophecies that the Bible talks about, what the OAHSPE has to say about them. And I think it's going to blow y'all's mind. It blew my mind. I really think that the creator, he uses the Bible. The Bible is profitable to help explain our life, the things that we go through. I think you, brother, are going to really like what I got in store for you today, man. I think you're going to really like it. I think you're going to like it, man. And what I got here on the screen is a video. It's called A Wanderer in the Spirit Land. I wish I could make my picture smaller there. The one on the screen, I tried to make it smaller, but I don't know how to do it yet. I wanted to really minimize that. I used to be able to know how to do it, but it's blocking part of the screen there. I don't know how to minimize. I don't know how to get it out of the way yet. You don't need to see me, but it puts it up there. But I'll try to be mindful that, to move my picture out of there. Anyway, here's a video that I was looking at, and man, it helped me. It helped me, man. Somebody told me about it, and I checked it out last night. I thought it was pretty daggone good. Y'all might have seen this. A Wonder in the Spirit Lands. A Wonder in the Spirit Lands. I thought it was pretty good. It was another account. It was similar to 30 Years Among the Dead, the video that I was talking about a couple of days ago, that video that this brother did, 30 years studying spirits who were channeled through his wife. And this video here is pretty similar to 30 Years Among the Dead. It's faithful to OAHSPE principles as far as I could tell, although I did think I heard him mention reincarnation. Now, I don't believe in reincarnation. I think the creator, he's pretty clear, but I don't know how he was framing it when he mentioned that word. Sometimes people, they mention that word and it lines up, and sometimes it don't. I think the way he was mentioning it, I didn't understand him fully. I'm just trying to, he mentioned it, and so I'm just in this video here, and I couldn't really understand real good how he was using that word. But for the most part, it was a pretty good video. I do recommend it. And is faithful to OAHSPE principles. It's called A Wanderer in the Spirit Lands. And it'll help you to look at people differently, man. That's basically the message that I got out of this video here. It'll help you to look at people differently, man. It'll help you to realize that it ain't worth it. The tetracts, the low vibrations that we have, it ain't worth it, man. It just ain't worth it. The vibrations that the Tetracts put on us in this reality, the emotions, the anger, the lust, the thirst for power, all the Tetracts that the Creator, he has us on the earth to try to tame, to put it down. This video that I was looking at, it was pretty good, man. It was pretty good to make you think, it's just not worth it to give in. If you can recognize the vibration that we've been put under, to recognize it for what it is, it's not worth it letting it affect you, knowing that we're going to go into our eternity. And based on how we deal with these things right now, determines how long the effect could be for when we go into our spiritual afterlife. Basically, this was a guy here on this video, and he was just talking about how he was during his lifetime and lessons he had somehow, I don't know how it was transmitted. I don't know, how it was transmitted to whoever gave the information and put it in video. And I imagine, there are brethren who they have Sargis ability, they have Suis ability, and they are able to receive messages from the angels. And so the Creator, he also said he was going to bring a time, which is the time that we're in right now, where we were going to be able to interface with spiritual beings. That explains the explosion in spirituality. Everybody's spiritual one way or another. There are people who are spiritual agnostics. They say they're spiritual, but they don't believe in any religion. And there's religious people. And I think the Creator, he says something like there are three types of people. There are people who are religious and they're faithists, and there are people who are spiritual, but they're not religious. And this guy here on this video, he paints a pretty good picture. Well, he talks, it's supposed to be an account of what he went through in his when he ended up going into his afterlife. And you listen to that video, man, and it's basically, I came away thinking, it really is not worth it getting upset, fighting with people, pride, vainglory. I'm number one. Looking at this video, it was really good to get me thinking it's best to just redeem the time, to be constantly examining how my my attitude, my inclinations towards the things and how they affect me. It just ain't worth it, man. The experiences that we go through, I mean, to let them lower your spiritual grade. And I don't live trying to have a high spiritual grade, or I ain't really concerned with that. I can't live that way. But I love the way the Creator, if you want, and you want to try to serve brethren, I just love the way you're in line with the Creator. When you're able to help brethren, to do something for brethren, to lift brethren up, I'm all for that, man. And if you can receive it in the sense that it's a part of you, you like doing that. I mean, it's like everything else is like dessert, icing on the cake. If you can get a kick out of trying to have some redeeming value about yourself while you're on the earth, not just trying to serve yourself and get all that you can, and scoop up all the money that you can. And if you can just receive it, that's vanity, man. I mean, people, you you look at the reality that we people, I mean, our reality is a constant struggle to try to entertain yourself. It's a constant struggle, to go and to find something to entertain, keep yourself entertained. That's why drugs is such a big deal. And that's why the entertainment industry and TV and, the internet, and just every day it's the red star is feeding you distraction and entertainment and uh, controversy, and it's so strong it lasts you all the way to the end of your life. And then you get to a point where you say, I all of this all of this searching and seeking ain't got me nowhere, man. Seeking and searching for nothing, man. It's like you can't buy a thrill, It's only momentary. But honestly, I mean, from experience, when you were able to do things that, you know, for other people, that's your mindset. You like trying to, if you've ever done something for somebody, you know what I mean? And you've seen the reaction they give you, that's what makes it worthwhile. And that's the kingdom of the creator. Looking at this video, this guy he talked about the different realms and the different types of people on different plateaus, and it went on and on. It was endless, and their purity level and how they sought the harmony that they experienced, the beauty of where they, of their reality, and just the majesty of the creator's heavens. And we want every we I want I know I'm not the only one. I know I'm not the only one who wants to live in that type of situation amongst those type of spirits. I know we all do. We want to live in we want to be in that type of reality where you don't got to worry about somebody and what motives that they have, and whether they want to try to rob you or defraud you some type of way. And that video was pretty good, man. It helped me to learn to really to be convicted, to try to root for people that they make it, to try to root for people, cheer for people, to help people, to hope people that they make the resurrection as well, that they are able to redeem the time. But we ain't in that situation. We are not in that situation, man. It's a terrible shame. We in this situation. The OAHSPE, the light, the only hope for mankind. The only hope for mankind, man, is the OAHSPE. The only hope for mankind. So anyway, like I said, I think I'm enjoy the video I'm gonna do today. I'm gonna go into the Bible what some famous um, um, scriptures that we have heard, prophecies, Revelation 13, what the OAHSPE has to say about it. It dawned on me, hey, let me ask AI, what does the OAHSPE say about these prophecies in the Bible? And I think you brethren gonna really, really like it, man. I think you're going to really like it. I hope I do a good job. And let me put the link also in case y'all want to. I may say something. Y'all may want to come on and comment on it. I really think the creator is going to let me do a good job today. So let me put the link in the room first. Again, thanks for joining me. Now, the OAHSPE, before I begin, if there's a brother or sister, and I've been trying to as best I've been trying to let brother know that there's my screen is messing up on me. What's it doing? What's the screen doing? Bear with me, brother. Hold tight. I'm trying to screen. Oh, here we go. Okay, now this is a 6-volume set that the Unknown Many put out, and it's a supplement to the OAHSPE. It's not a good picture. Let me see if I can find a better picture. Here's a picture. It's a 6-volume set. The Unknown Many put it out, and it's a supplement to the OAHSPE. And if a brother or sister, you're a little short on funds and you want one, don't you know you can contact me and I'll send you the 6-volume set for free. I'm not trying to say that I'm, Daddy Warbucks, but it's so important that if you want this, it's a supplement to the OAHSPE itself. It just goes into, it has verses to try to point people to the OAHSPE, get you interested. It's just goes by subject matter and verses, cherry picked verses that have certain subject matter to help you introduce you to the OAHSPE. And if you want a set, all you have to do is let me know. Just send me a message here on the YouTube channel, or just get with me on Facebook. Or yeah, it's my pleasure to try to share this, get this help the anybody who's interested in trying to know what the OAHSPE is all about. And so check it out. So like I said, I'm going to talk about some things that the name of the video today is "The Creator Condemns High IQ Boasters." And man, I came up with that title because just what I like to do is I like to, at the end of the day, I like to consider what I like to just try to reflect, on what the day was like, what my interactions I had with people, what they were like, and I try to learn off of it. I try to learn from the things that the creator he has me go through. I try to look and learn when I go out. I don't, I try to learn a lesson, man, about the light. Anything that I can. I either like to share it or I like to learn. And so when I'm at home, I go online. I like to keep up with the events of the day, and I listen to people. And a lot of times I go on Twitter and they talk about the events of the day. and they get pretty passionate. They start arguing with one another, and you know, they put all that energy into the events of the day, and they never bring up the creator. They talk about religion, their fire insurance, Christianity, you know, God and Jesus, and they know absolutely they don't put nearly the energy into spiritual realities as they do the controversy of the day's events, the current events. They don't put nearly. That's why when I talk to you, brethren, one thing that I try to emphasize, man, is don't take who we are for granted. Man, don't do it. It may seem like a long road, man, that we just believe in for nothing, that, whether what we even believe is true, is it real? And man, I'm just here to tell you, when you seen the light, man, and you seen what darkness looked like, it has an effect on you, man. It does on me. It has an effect that the pull of the red star is so strong to keep you from the light all the days of your life, man. All the days of your life. So anyway, I was considering what I was, at the time I decided to do this video, I was just considering the things that I keep hearing and people online, these discussions. And one of the things that comes up is they talk a lot. There's this phrase, I haven't really heard it until just recently. They say, that was a low IQ argument. That was a low IQ argument. I hear people say that. It's like a new thing. And I've even heard President Trump say stuff like that. He refers to people's IQ. From what I understand, now I could be wrong. See, and this is why it's a sensitive thing to me, because people like to apply that to black people. Like we're dumb. We got low IQs. I don't want to sound harsh, man. I don't, it's not my desire to sound, like I'm a racist or like I hate anybody, but I realize the reality that I'm in has got a lot of faults, man. And one of the biggest things is how we're divided from one another. We're divided. We point fingers at one another, and we so far away from the light, man. It ain't even funny. So people, they'll say things like, that was a low IQ argument. And it's really a slap at people, at minorities, really. That's really what it is, although it's not true. And it's really people who, they take pride. There's a saying in the Bible, in Corinthians. I think it's Corinthians. I used to think that Jesus Christ said it, but it was really the Apostle Paul. And he said something like, what do you have that, matter of fact, let me get it. Let me get it. What do you have that you did not receive? And if you have not received it, then why do you boast like you did? That's a hell of a logical argument, man. And this world don't think like that. They think that any gift that they have, they brought it on themselves. I'm looking for the screen. Bear with me. What do you have that you didn't receive, man? Why don't you think about it? Now, if you received it, why do you boast? Like it was your own doing. I'm trying to find it. I'm not on the screen yet. Just hold tight. And that's the type of world we live in. We live in this type of world right here. We got so proud. We go, look at this. For what maketh thee to differ from another? What hast thou that thou didst not receive? Now, if thou didst receive it, why dost thou glory as if thou hast not received it? I was getting ready to mention how President Trump, he won't fly in an airplane with the Negro as a pilot. Either it was him or somebody else. He wouldn't fly if he would not let a Negro fly him. Now, you probably could go on the internet. I'm pretty sure I heard that. I don't want to, I don't want to just besmirch the man, but I'm pretty sure I heard something to that effect. I'm pretty positive. He would not fly with a Negro pilot. And that what he's saying. And also there was, y'all remember the dude? He was the chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff. He was the chairman. He was the chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff, right? Matter of fact, I'll show you the dude. Check out, look at this dude. And then when Trump got in office, he fired him. Now wait till you see who this dude is. And all the general consensus was that this was this general, he was a competent, very competent. C.K. Brown, Pentagon Chairman, Joint Chiefs of Staff. And then Trump got in office and he fired the dude. And the general consensus is because he's a Negro. You see, that's him right there. Now, I'm sharing this because you see how devastating that attitude is when you characterize a group of, you say they have a low IQ. And so you begin to, now you start boasting, as if you're the only one. See, you're the only one. You got a high IQ, right? You don't give glory to the one who gave it to you. And that's the world, that's where we live. People with that mindset. And it carries over into other people's lives. Now, I want to share what the OAHSPE has to say about that type of mindset. I want to share about what the OAHSPE has to say. If I can find it, hold on, I'm looking for it. I haven't shared the screen. I did a little research on it to see what the creator would have to say about that type of mind. And it could make you angry when you know that there are people like that, and they spread that type of stuff out in public. And it creates all kinds of stigmas on people. You know what I mean? Boasting. I'm smarter than you. I think there was a book called The Bell Curve that really popularized what I'm talking about. But it's a funny thing, though. The creator, he doesn't advocate that type of mind. Why don't you ask the creator what he has to say about people who are like that? Because that's the world we live in. What does the OAHSPE say about people who are glad they are smart and intelligent and use it to put other people in bondage and servitude? I want to see what the OAHSPE has to say about that. The text repeatedly teaches that true wisdom comes from Jehovah. You know what? You don't even need to really. Can we agree that you don't even really need to be reading this, man, to know what's. We could have written this ourselves. This don't even need to be said. You know what I mean? About what we talking about. This don't even really need. It's a shame that it's got to be said that true wisdom comes from Jehovah, the creator, and must be used only in humble servitude, service to others, and to raise humanity. And I remember I was talking to somebody, and I was sharing how any gifts we got is for. It's a gift you're supposed to share with the world, and you, brethren, got them too. Like every now and then, I like to talk about the zodiacs. I like to talk about the gifts that they have that I have seen, the zodiacs, the different signs of the zodiacs. In my life, I love the beauty that each one of them represent. Everybody's got some beauty about them according to their vibration. And from time to time, I like to get on here and talk about it. You know, what makes one sign unique from the other? I mean, we have, our lower nature that we got to do battle with too. You know what I mean? We got our lower nature that we have to do battle with. That's what it's all about. Trying to put that down, and then learn what your gift is, and then get out there and share it with other people. You don't got to be on TV or anything, we can all redeem the time, man, in our own unique way. We don't have to be out front. You can do it every little moment of the day. You share yourself with somebody, you provide your insight, your light that is unique to you. You know, you are the only one that puts a flavor. You're the only one of you that's ever been created. Your vibration, your sign, that's just like a guide to help you to resonate, to get in touch, to tap into your strengths. Your strength. It's a beautiful thing, man. Each of us, anything that we have is for service to other people. It's to help other people, to raise them up, to lift them up. But see, we get taught to love ourselves. I mean, right from the jump, man, from the womb, we get taught to be selfish, to be offended. Satan is strong from the jump, man. The name of the video, man, the creator, he condemns people who brag and boast, full of vainglory. You glad you smart. You talk about you got a high IQ. And when you say it, you mean it like I'm smarter than you. And what do they do in this reality? They turn around and put their brother in chains. They oppress him. They make laws to put their brother in slavery, to give them the advantage. The OAHSPE, it says something like, there's a verse in the OAHSPE, it talks about capitalism. It says something about capitalism is strong and strikes labor a cruel blow, meaning it rules over people with rigor. Capitalism, people who are gifted in that area, they may be gifted in an area of where they can dominate their brethren, and they do it with cruelty, man. That's what this age that we in, Pluto going into Aquarius, that's what this is. That's what we coming out of. We coming out of it. I'm gonna go into that too when I get into Revelation. When I do the prophecy, what the OAHSPE has to say about Revelation 13, you probably gonna really like it, man. It's gonna be an explosion. So right now I'm just dealing with the title of the video, what the creator says about people who boast of their high IQ. They boast that they real smart. It says the text repeatedly teaches that true wisdom comes from Jehovah, the creator, and must be used only in humble service to others and to raise humanity, not for self-glory, leadership, riches, or creating masters and servants. Such prideful, self-serving use of intelligence binds the person themselves. It binds the person themselves to the lowest spiritual realms, the bound heavens after death. That's why the OAHSPE, remember where it talks about reality seems to be upside down in the spiritual. The low level brother, all of a sudden, he's raised up. And the rich man is on the bottom. It's like reality done been flipped on his head. Why? Because the creator, the recipe for resurrection is humility, it's for being selfless, it's forgiving, serving, lowliness of mind, reality is flipped on his head in the spiritual. The high and mighty, they're at grade 1. They at the lowest grade. They starting all over again. And they were on top all the time that they were on the red star, where we are right now. Such prideful, self-serving use of intelligence, prideful, self-serving use of intelligence binds the person themselves to the lowest spiritual realms after death, where they suffer isolation, torment by their own deeds, and inability to rise. Now, we in the situation, the world don't really care nothing about that. It ain't, so what? That's what everybody say. Don't nobody really care about this. Only a faithless will. See, it keeps reminding me, man, like in this reality, there are people who rise to the top, but you don't see the hard work they did to get there. You don't see that in this reality. The hard work they put in. All you see is, you see them on TV, they getting an award. What does the Bible say? It says, for they do it for a perishable crown. But faithists, they do what they do for an eternal crown. Eternal crown. An eternal crown, man. How do you like that? How do you like that, man? You know what I mean? In this reality, on the red star, you hear of some of the things that people have done to get to where they are. And then it seemed like all their glory, it only lasts for a couple minutes. I remember they were interviewing Muhammad Ali, and they were reflecting on all the glory that he had when he was on the red star. And he said, man, it wasn't nothing but a dream, meaning it just came and went. It was here today. It was gone tomorrow. It was here today. It was gone tomorrow. And not like any faith is seeking glory, and honor and majesty and all that, but it's coming. And that ain't me saying it. That's the creator. It's a weird thing, man. It seems like he puts it in your heart not to really care about those things. But the way of the creator is great, man. It's fulfilling on the inside of you, so that I know faithists don't think about rewards or I know they don't really care about that. Don't think about, but that's where you're going. That's your future. And it ain't nothing you can do about it. And it's right. if I may say so, that the Creator, for those who overcome, it's only right that that's what their future holds for them. It's only right, man. You know, high IQ boasters. They boast, man. I'm smart. I'm smart, man. You never give thanks to the Creator. You don't say things like, "I like to thank the Creator for giving me the ability to be in this position where I was able to accomplish such great things." You'll never hear that. Such prideful, self-serving use of intelligence binds the person themselves to the lowest spiritual realms, the bound heavens after death, where they suffer isolation, torment by their own deeds, and inability to rise. Victims of their exploitation are and people who they afflict are also held back. See, that's why I was saying what I had heard about Trump, and I know there are other people like that. They won't fly with a Negro pilot. See, and so they don't get hired. You see, victims of their exploitation are all because of a stigma. That's a stick. It's a sick stigma that affects people, so they don't get hired. See, it says it right here. Victims of their exploitation are also held back, meaning they're affected too. But the perpetrators face the harshest judgment. People who initiate that type of stigma on other people, you're a perpetrator. You're a perpetrator. The creator is, if you're the cause, OAHSPE rejects all, the OAHSPE rejects all dominion, meaning kings, leaders, rich exploiters, false priests, and declares in Jehovah's kingdom there shall be neither masters nor servants. I'm willing to wait for that kingdom. I'll wait all my life, man. I'll wait. I'll wait all my life. I'll go through whatever I have to go through to live there. I'll wait all my life, man. I promise I will. I'll do whatever I have to do. Key passages from the book of knowledge, the section most directly addressing conceit. When you're conceited, snot-nosed, uppity, vainglory, proud, puffed up, snooty, you got a high opinion of yourself, you know. But be thou not puffed up with conceit. Thou art little in advance of the ancients. They erected pyramids and obelisks and great temples, and they said, "Behold, how great and wise we are. Wiser we are than the ancients. Look at what we've done, man. Look how smart we are." But the Creator said, "But wait a minute, thou has also boasted," meaning us, saying, "Behold, our ships of war." See, that's America to the teeth, man. Is that not America? I mean, I know all the nations are like that. Russia, China, big old ships that are really moving cities, man. The Creator says, "Now hold up. Don't you point the finger at them. You're the same way. Don't don't point the finger out, don't come down on them because they said that. You're saying the same thing. Thou also has boasted, saying, Behold our ships of war. Behold our engines and railroads and the telegraphs. How great and wise are we than the ancients? We smarter than them." This directly targets those who glory in their modern smartness and inventions while achieving no real good. It says, my self-conceit hath been as a mountain before my vision, meaning it's blocked blocking. It blocked you from the light. Remember the saying in the Bible where Jesus said, first remove the log that is in your eye, right? And then you'll see clearly enough to remove the speck out of your brother's eye. This is the same thing. My self-conceit has been as a mountain before my vision. When I think about it, man, when I think about it, for all the brethren such as myself who have been beaten up in life, have been beaten up, now you can see why the Creator let you get beat up. To humble you. He let you get beat up, man, because if you fall to pride, that's a hard deal to get out of. You can see it when you look at the world. You see, for all you brethren and sisters who've been beat up in life, now you can give thanks, can't you? You've been beat up, man. You didn't think it was fair at the time. You know what I mean? You didn't like it the way it was the cards you was dealt. But see, now you see a little better why we had to go through those things, why we had to take that beating. My self-conceit had been as a mountain before my vision. I have nothing to boast over the ancients. The things I gloried in, the inventions and sciences and discoveries of my time, I saw not from thy standpoint. I exulted in myself, saying, have I not done great things? But I had not done a hand's turn with all my inventions and discoveries to better the poor and unlearned. What then is the measure of the good I've done more than the ancients? I haven't done nothing, this man says. I haven't done anything, man. As long as I look around and I got brethren sleeping on the bench, out in the sun, out in the rain, out in the snow, on the street, on the ground. Hey, man, I haven't done a blipping thing, man. I ain't done nothing. Who am I to boast, man? You know what I mean? How is it, pride and intelligence is worthless and sinful if it is not used to uplift the oppressed or poor. It leaves one spiritually bankrupt. He that serveth himself goeth to the lowest of bound heavens. He who serveth Jehovah with all his wisdom and strength goeth to the third realm. I was looking at that video that I was telling y'all about. This video right here. And he describes what must have been the third realm. You know what I mean? And I can't repeat exactly. The testimony, man, of the higher heavens is consistent. It seems no matter where you go online, you hear people who they have near-death experiences, how they be talking. And I think that some of them people, they're embellishing. But how do I know? Sometimes people, they embellish. And like the old saying goes, man, a million people can't be wrong, when they all sound alike, saying the same thing, the glory of the high heavens. You know what I mean? The glory of the high heavens. I don't even think I shared that tab. I was, this video here, was I sharing that? Yeah, I was. Yeah, a wander in the spirit lands. He that serveth himself goeth to the lowest of bound heavens. He who serveth Jehovah with all his wisdom and strength goeth to the third realm. And that's something, again, man, we can do that. We don't have to be out front, have an out front ministry. It can be just as simple. In that video, that guy, he talked about interpersonal relationships, one on one, dealing with people on a one on one level. You don't have to blow a trumpet, man, Using smarts for self puts one in the worst afterlife bondage. Leaders are those who live off others' labor. Preachers, politicians, the learned who exploit. To be a leader on earth is to be bound in heaven. They're called thieves and robbers. Their tricks and falsehoods haunt them forever in spirit. I don't know if that's true, forever. See, that's why you got to watch AI, man. You got to pay attention. It's trying to catch up with the OAHSPE, though. It's trying to catch. I think it's doing a good job. From OAHSPE's broader teachings and index of themes, what is so conceited is man. Man prides himself in his power and wisdom. If a rich man with his hoarded wealth does little for the resurrection of man, how much less does the learned man do with a head full of knowledge? Ain't that the truth? In other words, you got a man, like I read the other day where Elon Musk, he only has donated a fraction of his riches. Now, see, he's a cancer, man. Now, a cancer can be pretty tight when it comes to the giving of money. That is true. That is, they can be pretty tight, Check this out. Let's see if I'm going to go online. Let's see what it says. What are the top 5 frugal zodiac signs? Yep, Virgo is one. Oh, it didn't even, it don't mention Cancer. It says Taurus, Virgo. I knew Virgo in Capricorn. The earth signs, yeah, they can have a tight fist when it comes to money. Now, how about stingy? Now, frugal is probably not the right word. I don't like to sound harsh, but let me see this. Who are the top 5 stingiest zodiac signs? Just be blunt, Yep. See, you mentioned Cancer. So Elon Musk, it was reported that he only give like a fraction. He's a Cancer, He gets a fraction of what he has made. He's worth like billions of dollars. It's his lower vibration he's operating on. If a rich man with his hoarded wealth, if he does little for the resurrection of man, how much less does the learned man with a head full of knowledge? Meaning, if a man with a lot of money who can do things, like alleviate their situation immediately, like buy them something, a place to live. Although the charity the OAHSPE speaks of is different from the world, but it's saying here, if a man who's got, I got to share it. If a man who has the ability to do it doesn't do it, then a man who only has words to share is certainly not going to be any better. The smart, intelligent person who hoards or weaponizes knowledge is judged worse than the merely wealthy exploiter. Weaponizing knowledge, you know, pay me for what I know. You you know, in order for me to teach you, you got to pay me. That's weaponizing knowledge. Whoever binds another shall himself be bound. Bondage of dominion and war. The bondage of kings, queens, emperors, rich men, leaders. Greater riches are dominion. Greater bondage in heaven. No man shall serve another but for love. In his kingdom there shall be neither buying nor selling, neither servant nor master. False gods in OAHSPE's history were often once clever mortals or spirits. They were once clever mortals or spirits. They used cunning and intelligence to build kingdoms of slavery and false worship. Exactly the pattern described in the question, what does the Creator have to say about people who brag on how smart they are? And they too end up scattered, repentant, bound until they release their victims. In short, OAHSPE says such people are self-condemned. Their prideful intelligence creates earthly servitude and bondage for others. An eternal spiritual bond. Now, I don't know about that. See, that's not right. It's not eternal. Nobody is lost forever. That's not true. Eternal spiritual bondage is bondage, but it's not eternal. For themselves in the lowest realms, the only escape is to cast away conceit, serve Jehovah by helping the poor and unlearned, reject all dominion, and live as equals with no masters or servants. Pride in being smart while oppressing others is the opposite of Jehovah's wisdom. Let's see. My screen is telling me. Okay. So, see, we live in a world with this mindset. It's part of what makes this world. It's part of. It's that mind. It's that vibration that it drags down the grade of the whole earth, because people, they pride themselves on being really on their high IQ. They boast about it. It's a source of pride. But they won't say, nobody will give thanks to the Creator. We don't know how to do it. Now, you see, like sometimes a sporting event, or somebody will say, I want to give thanks to God for this win today. And, you know, and they heart is in the right place, man, to be saying stuff like that. But overall, the majority of like intellectual circles, you don't hear this type, you don't hear people, you know what I mean, crediting the Creator with having given them the ability to do this or that. It's a foregone, it's like they treat it like it's a foregone conclusion, but then again, maybe not. Now, I think you might like this also. Here's another question. So that covers the title of the video, what the creator has to say about people who are proud of their high IQ. They boast about it. So that's the segment for that. I hope you enjoyed it. Now, before I get to Revelation and the book of Daniel and what the creator had to say about their prophecies, I'm going to cover one more subject matter that I got here on the screen. It says, what does it mean when the Bible says, if my eye be single, my whole body shall be full of light? Y'all remember that verse in the Bible? If thine eye be single, thy whole body shall be full of light. In OAHSPE, the new Bible received in 1882, it does not directly quote or paraphrase the exact Bible verse you referenced, Matthew 6:22 or Luke 11:34. The light of the body is the eye. If therefore thine eye be single, thy whole body shall be full of light. Nor does it provide a verse-by-verse commentary on it. However, OAHSPE's teachings align closely with the spiritual meaning of this passage, interpreting it through its own cosmology of light and inspiration. Purity and alignment with Jehovah, the Creator's name in OAHSPE, equivalent to the one true God. In the Bible, if thy eye be single, means having a single-minded focus, pure intention, undivided devotion to the Creator without hypocrisy, greed, or double motives. The evil eye in the next verse contrasts with selfishness, darkness. When the eye, which is the spiritual perception or inner focus, is single, pure, the whole being fills with divine light, God's presence, truth, and holiness. Man, you got to think about that. You got to think about that. When you're meditating and you're focused on the Creator, or even when you're just going throughout the day, you're meditating on the Creator. I'm telling you, that's unusual. Did you, brother, know that? That's your body being, that's your eye is single. I'm telling you, that is unusual. It's unusual. It is it's strange in a good way, because we don't live in a world like that. We don't live in a world. I'm telling you, man, sometimes you don't want to see the darkness that you see. You don't want to see it because it's all around, man. If you're serious and the Creator is giving you this understanding, this light, I don't know how to describe it, man. Sometimes it's almost painful. It's hard. Sometimes, I don't know, only speak for myself. It's hard to deal with sometimes. But most other times, it's a source of rejoicing. OAHSPE echoes and expands this idea emphatically, meaning the light of the body is the eye. Light is central in OAHSPE. Jehovah's essence is all light. Pure, creative, loving vibration energy. Mortals and angels rise spiritually by absorbing and reflecting this light through purity, service, and harmony with Jehovah's will. The single eye concept ties to undivided devotion to Jehovah alone. No idols, false gods, self-exaltation, dominion over others, or material attachments. A double or divided focus, meaning pride and intelligence, while oppressing others, as in your previous question, fills one with darkness, bound to low spiritual realms, ethereal hell-like zones of torment and isolation. You don't even want to read that, do you? When a person achieves a single-minded alignment with Jehovah, humble, selfless service, rejecting kingship, leadership, dominion, their entire being becomes a vessel of light. This fills the whole body, corporal and spiritual, with Jehovah's light, enabling inspiration, higher resurrection, and escape from earthly bondage. If thine eye be single, man, thy whole body shall be full of light. Key alignments in OAHSPE's teachings: purity and single focus bring light. Taking your mind and focusing on the light, on the what the Creator, what the knowledge that He has given us. You focusing on it. When you focus on it, man, it's just a whole nother world opens up, man. It's you just see it different. I don't have to share with you, brethren. Your focus, when your eye is single, man, and you can't see nothing else. Purity and single focus bring light. OAHSPE stresses that true wisdom knowledge comes only through direct inspiration from Jehovah. So you know, in simple terms, when you under inspiration, to meditate and to think about the things of the light of the Creator, that's direct inspiration from Jehovah. That's direct inspiration. Jehovah's dealing with you directly. When your mind, your thoughts are in line with His will, when your actions are in line with His will, do you know you're being dealt with directly from Jehovah? A single heart mind, no conceit, no self-glory, allows this light to flow fully. For example, in the Book of Knowledge, Book of Inspiration, it warns against conceit and personal smarts or inventions if not used to uplift. But see, in this reality here, the first thing they do when they find an invention, they get a patent for it. So can't nobody else profit off of it but them. Inventions, if not used to uplift others, such division creates spiritual darkness, while humble service fills one with light. The body as a vessel of light or darkness. OAHSPE describes mortals as capable of becoming full of light through alignment. In ethereal realms, advanced souls radiate light, literally. How do you like that? Advanced souls radiate light, literally. Impure motives, the evil eye equivalent, bind one to corporal darkness and low atmospheric astral bondage. I believe that. Do you, brethren, believe that? Do you believe that the low vibration binds you to the earth? It makes sense, don't it? Should it not make sense? A lot of this stuff, I think it's possible to find the light of the Creator without needing to know the OAHSPE. If you can just listen to your conscience, if your conscience has not been seared over with a hot iron, you can hear the Creator because that's His voice. The conscience, the enlightened conscience. No masters, servants in Jehovah's kingdom. Echoing the rejection of divided loyalties. The rejection of divided loyalties. OAHSPE repeatedly states that there shall be no dominion, only equality and love. A single eye to Jehovah's glory. Let's see. A single eye to Jehovah's glory rejects servitude and oppression, filling society with the individual harmonious light. Okay, so it's, oh, one more. It says inspiration and the all-seeing eye. OAHSPE mentions an all-seeing eye, symbol Jehovah's omnipresence and watchfulness, aligning one's inner eye singly to this allows full reception of light inspiration, much like the Bible's promise. Now, I don't know about that, but it sounds faithful. All-seeing eye. I think you can reason it, but I'd have to look at that. So in short, it says, according to OAHSPE's framework, the Bible verse means when your inner vision intention is purely and singly fixed on Jehovah, without interest, pride, or division, your entire being, body, mind, and spirit becomes illuminated and filled with Jehovah's divine light. This brings resurrection, peace, inspiration, freedom from bondage, a divided or evil focus, which is self-exaltation, exploitation, instead fills one with darkness and spiritual bondage. Okay, so, all right. Now I'm going to go to another part of the video where it deals with the Bible prophecies and what the Creator has to say about it. So let me go to the room first. Okay, see and greet everybody. All right, Nazarene, Bishop, Asenath, Mahalia, good to see all y'all. Thanks for joining me. Servant of the Most High, Lucifer, Lucero, Fritz, Brother Fritz, Unbreakable Love for All. I've never seen you before. Welcome to the room. You asked a question. Yeah, so why does he hate me, brother? Your header statement. What do you mean? Hey, Unbreakable Love for All. If you want, you can come on the channel and we could talk. You want to come on and have a discussion? All you have to do is click this link and it'll bring you on. Wonders of modern technology, Unbreakable Love for All. I don't know if he's still in the room, but if you want, you can click that link and we can have a discussion. If you come in peace and you don't want to bring any drama and you're sincere, you're certainly welcome here, man. Anybody. Or if y'all want to share anything based on what I said before I get to the next reading. Next reading is going to be pretty good. I think y'all going to like this. I'm going to go into Revelation 13 and also Daniel's prophecy, according to what the Creator has to say they mean. I think y'all going to really like it. Anybody want to come on and share a word before I go on? Good to see y'all. Good to see everybody. Anybody want to come on? Let's see. Unbreakable Love for All. Why don't you come on? All you got to do is click on the link. If you have a question or you want to comment or, this is a channel where I try to get brethren to engage with one another. The world has got to see it, man. They got to see us faiths. Do you brethren wonder how he's going to bring the kingdom? Does anybody wonder about how the Creator's going to do it? You know it's coming, right? I'm getting ready to read in Revelation where we're going to get better understanding on what's going on in our reality right now. I'm telling you, you're in for a blessing, man. Does anybody want to come on, say anything about what's been said, share anything, your thoughts or anything? You just click on the link and I'll hand it over to you. If not, I'm gonna just keep going. So let me see. Unbreakable love for all. You want to come on? You're welcome. You know, nothing to be afraid of. I know that we want to be heard, man. I know that that's what this video, my channel, it's an opportunity for us to be heard, man, because you need somebody to talk to about what you're going through or what you think, or it's very therapeutic, man. All right. If nobody wants to say anything, then I guess I'll go ahead and keep going then. Let me see. Unbreakable love. Is she says we should make it time, brother, later tonight, maybe. I don't know if I understand you, but I'm on Tuesdays and Fridays for your information at around this time, Tuesdays and Fridays. So anyway, let's go ahead with the reading. Let's go ahead and see what the Creator has to say about some famous verses that we are familiar with. So I think y'all gonna really like it. So let's get to it. I hope y'all do. Revelation 13. So let me find it. And this is what the Creator has to say about famous prophecies and verses that we have heard of. I'm sure we have heard of. In this particular, I haven't gotten to the screen yet. I'm trying to find it. Well, I haven't forgotten to share this. I haven't forgotten to share the screen. Just hold tight. I'm looking for it. So just bear with me. So this is going to be, what does the Creator have to say about Revelation 13? See, the world don't know this, man. That's why it's so exciting. I'm still looking for it, so I haven't forgotten to share the screen. Okay, here it is right here. All right, this is going to be nice right here. This is going to be nice. How would the OAHSPE explain Revelation 13:3? Okay, so let's look at Revelation 13:3 first, okay? Revelation chapter 13, verse 3, King James Version. Okay, now let's read it. And then we're going to see what the Creator has to say about it. And I'm going to continue to do this on my videos too. It's like the Creator is just giving me an explosion, man, and the way to, you can't even believe it, man. I mean, first, just the revealing to me to read the Bible metaphorically, and then to ask what the Creator, what his word says about famous Bible verses that we have read. The Bible can be a real blessing, man, and showing us, teaching us about our reality. It can be a real blessing, man. The only problem is how it was hijacked by false gods to lead people to them instead of to the Creator. Revelation 13:3. Now, let me read the chapter. Let's read the chapter. And I stood upon the sand of the sea and saw a beast rise up out of the sea, having 7 heads and 10 horns. And upon his horns and 10 crowns, and upon his heads the name of blasphemy. And the beast which I saw was like unto a leopard, and his feet were as the feet of a bear, and his mouth is the mouth of a lion. And the dragon gave him his power and his seat and great authority. And here's the focus verse. And I saw one of his heads as it were wounded to death, and his deadly wound was healed. And all the world wondered after the beast, and they worshiped the dragon, which gave power unto the beast. And they worshiped the beast, saying, Who is like unto the beast? Who is able to make war with him? And there was given unto him a mouth speaking great things and blasphemies, and power was given unto him to continue 42 months. And he opened his mouth in blasphemy against God, to blaspheme his name, his tabernacle, and them that dwell in heaven. And it was given unto him to make war with the saints and to overcome them. And power was given him over all kindreds, tongues, and nations. All that dwell upon the earth shall worship him, whose names are not written in the book of life of the Lamb slain from the foundation of the world. If any man have an ear, let him hear. He that leadeth into captivity shall go into captivity. He that killeth with the sword must be killed with the sword. Here is the patience and the faith of the saints. Almost mentions faith is there, doesn't it? And I beheld another beast coming up out of the earth, and he had 2 horns like a lamb. So this is a continuation of the dominion of the beast. This is like another part of the beast. He had 2 horns like a lamb, and he spake as a dragon. And he exercises all the power of the first beast before him, and causes the earth and them which dwell therein to worship the first beast. His deadly wound was healed. And he doeth great wonders, so that he maketh fire come down from heaven on the earth in the sight of men. And he deceiveth them that dwell on the earth by means of those miracles which he had power to do in the sight of the beast, saying to them that dwell on the earth, that they should make an image to the beast, which had the wound by a sword and did live. And he had power to give life unto the image of the beast, that the image of the beast should both speak and cause that as many as would not worship the image of the beast should be killed. And he caused all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand, meaning that's like their will, if I'm not mistaken. Their will, their desire, and that no man might buy or sell save he that had the mark or the name of the beast or the number of his name. Let him that hath understanding count the number of the beast, for it is the number of a man, for his number is 666. So here we have Revelation 13, and very famous verse in the world. And Christians think this is like future. I think they see some history and contemporariness in this, but they think this is something is future. The mark of the beast they keep talking about. Do y'all remember how there used to be a lot of conversation about what the mark of the beast was? And everybody was looking for a mark on the hand or on the forehead. And they don't see what this verse means. They don't see it. So now the OAHSPE is ready to tell us what this verse means. The OAHSPE is getting ready to tell us what this verse means. Check this out. According to OAHSPE, Revelation 13:3, and I saw one of his heads as it were wounded to death, and his deadly wound was healed, and all the world wondered after the beast. Check this out. Look at what the OAHSPE says. It says it would be interpreted symbolically as part of the broader pattern of false gods and their false religions. False gods and their false religions. The beast that dominated the last dark cycle of earthly history. Now, I want to say that it would be referring to, now, no, I was going to say like the Ark of Bond, the cycle before Cosmin, but I'm not sure, so maybe I better not say that. Because darkness usually falls at the end of a cycle, and we're in the beginning of the Cosmin era. It says OAHSPE does not provide a direct verse-by-verse commentary on Revelation or any Bible book, but its cosmology and historical narrative in books like God's Book of Esdras, Book of Wars Against Jehovah, and Book of Es offer a clear framework for understanding such apocalyptic imagery. So it's saying the OAHSPE can clear up the cryptic terms of the Bible. Now, the beast in OAHSPE's terms, check this out. You're gonna like this. The beast, often called the great beast or four heads of the beast, symbolizes the animalistic, self-exalting, domineering side of man and spirit. The age of Cephas, right? Enforced religion, war, hierarchy, masters, servants, and false worship that binds souls in darkness. This is the beast, remember, in OAHSPE's terms. In prophecy sections, as in the book of Cosmogony and Prophecy, the beast represents periods of war, lust, low spiritual grade, below certain protection thresholds, where earthly powers and false heavenly rulers perpetrate bondage. The seven heads are multiple heads aligned with successive false dominions or false gods who divided the world regionally, claiming divine power, inspiring idolatry, sacrifice, and false saviors. The deadly wound that was healed, referring to the apparent downfall and subsequent revival of a major false god's kingdom or false religion during the cycle of darkness, roughly ending around the Cosmin era. Okay, so they are speculating that that age of darkness, where the beast, it suffered a deadly wound, was more than likely referring to the Ark of Bond, or was it Speda or Bond? I think it was Bond, right? That was the Ark right before Cosmin, right? Ark of Bond. I think it's Ark of Bond. So it's referring to the deadly wound. The beast was given its deadly wound before 1882, somewhere before in the hundreds of years before the beginning of the Cosmin era. It got its deadly wound. But It received, it's going to tell us what the deadly wound of the beast, what that deadly wound is. Okay. There are key parallels in the OAHSPE. Luamong, alias Christ, the false god who inspired much of the Christian era via Thoth, Gabriel, and councils like Nicaea, is a prime candidate for the wounded, healed figure. So the AI speculating, and I have to agree with this, because Luamong, he was judged along with the other false gods, the false Buddha, the false Brahma, the false Krishna, I think it was. They were judged according to OAHSPE. And then it says, Luamong seized power as a false Lord God. He built a vast heavenly earthly empire through war against other false gods, overthrowing parts of Osiris and Baal, and established a savior in a man's image, which is religion, to consolidate control. It says his kingdom suffered an apparent mortal blow through wars, schisms, exposures of falsehoods, or declines in faith power, like the Reformation attacks on centralized papal authority or earlier falls of empires tied to false worship. So we should be able to see how the OAHSPE is way more comprehensive than the Bible's explanation of Revelation 13. They look at it as like a compartmentalized event, yet future. The beast, the mark of the beast. The OAHSPE says, no, man, this covers thousands of years. The Revelation 13 prophecy, and it's referring to Luamong from the time that he was judged. That's when his kingdom received a deadly wound. But it says, yet it healed, it recuperated, seemingly. Luamong, when he was judged, his kingdom seemed to have recovered from the deadly wound, the judgment that Jehovah judged him. It seemed to have recovered, yet it healed through revival, popery, Christian institutions, recovering influence, missionary expansions, or the religions persisted despite challenges, causing the world to wonder after, marvel at, and follow this enduring system of bondage. Religion, it endured. It seemed to be healed. It was judged. The Creator judged it, but it didn't go away. It seemed to revive and come back in the form of, like, the Catholic Church, established religion, worship, savior gods. It says other false gods, Osiris with his trinity and pomp, or the four great false gods, Luamong, Enochrista, Cabalactes, and Gabriel, perpetrated the beast, kept him going. Their systems faced wounds, meaning overthrows by true Ethereal forces, internal rebellions, or light exposing their lies. But parts revived or persisted, deceiving mortals into worship and servitude to what we have today. The healing amazes the world because it mimics resurrection power, a counterfeit of Jehovah's true light resurrection, drawing followers back into false dominion, war, and inequality. Exactly what OAHSPE condemns as the work of self-exalted angels who rebelled against Jehovah. Okay, now this is a broader image, broader OAHSPE context for revelation imagery. Okay, an expanded definition of Revelation 13. Revelation's beast dragon align with OAHSPE's false gods in the lower heavens, atmosphere, who use cunning, miracles through jurges, evil spirits, and enforce creeds to rule mortals directly, otherwise called doctrines, used to enslave, to bring into bondage, doctrines. Enforced creeds is what it's called here. Enforced creeds are doctrines that men use to enslave men, enforced creeds. The wonder and following the beasts reflect how false religions, especially those exalting a man God Savior, bind souls generationally, creating spiritual darkness until the current cosmic cycle ends their dominion. So it says ultimately, the OAHSPE prophesies the overthrow of these beasts. The foreheads, the false gods will be cast down, war ends, and Jehovah's light arises directly. No more masters, servants, or false worship. The beast is put away forever in the new era. Okay. Now, in short, it says OAHSPE would view Revelation 13:3 as a prophetic vision of how a major false god religion, likely Luomong, Christ related, seen mortally wounded through because it was judged, exposure, or decline. Mortally wounded means judgment or exposure or decline. You would think it would mortally have wounded the false god's kingdom. The judgment, the exposure that it was a false kingdom, and the decline. But it was healed enough to regain global awe and allegiance. Like the mustard seed that came back, deceiving many into continued bondage. This fits OAHSPE's warning against all self-exalted powers that mimic divine authority. Mimicking divine authority is what we see in the world, of mimicking divine authority while opposing Jehovah's equality and light. While opposing Jehovah's equality and light, the true resolution comes not from healing the beast, but from its final destination in the rising cycle of cosmic. The true resolution comes not from healing the beast, but from its final destruction in the rising cycle of cosmic, meaning that the beast has got to be destroyed in men's hearts. The beast it's got to be destroyed in men's hearts. There's no overcoming the beast through force. It's got to be, the only way the beast is going to be defeated is through the light in the heart of men. That's why if we go to the book of Daniel, let's go to the book of Daniel. We can go to the book of Daniel, where it talks about I think the image that was destroyed without hands. Here is more on a deeper dive into Revelation 13 that I asked OAHSPE to do. If you want, you can read it. It says pretty much the same thing. The beast with his heads, horns, and blasphemous power represents the composite system of false gods and their enforced religious worship during the dark portion of the cycle, last 3,000 or 4,000 years, peaking in Christian Mohammedan eras. Oh, you can read that. Now, Also, the OAHSPE, it talks about Daniel's prophecy and explains what Daniel's prophecy means. Right here. What does Daniel's prophecy mean, according to OAHSPE? Daniel's prophecy. I think it's Daniel 11, or Daniel 2, yeah. According to OAHSPE, the prophecies in the book of Daniel, such as the statue, the dream of Nebuchadnezzar in Daniel 2, the four beasts in Daniel 7, the little horn, the 70 weeks in Daniel 9, the abomination of desolation, or times half a time in Daniel 12, are not interpreted as literal future and time events tied to modern Israel, neither a future Antichrist or a specific messianic timeline in the way many Christian traditions view them. Instead, OAHSPE reframes them within its own cosmic cycle of roughly 3,000-year periods, which are Danha, arcs of light and dark cycles. The rise of false gods and the progression toward the current cosmic era, which is the dawning age of knowledge. Equality and direct inspiration from Jehovah, beginning around the mid-19th century. OAHSPE presents itself as a new revelation that corrects, fulfills, and supersedes older scriptures, including the Bible, explaining Daniel's visions as symbolic of historical angelic dominions, false religions, and the bondage of souls during the recent dark cycle, now ending. The core OAHSPE interpretation of Daniel's key elements. Now, this is referring to Daniel chapter 2, the dream that he had, the statue. Now the OAHSPE is going to give its interpretation of Daniel chapter 2, the four kingdoms, the beast statue. And I want to go back to Revelation 13 real quick. Something came to my mind. It said the whole world wonders after the beast, and that's what you got today. The whole world wonders after the beast, meaning religion, meaning the enforced religion. The whole world, either Mohammedan, Christianity, Catholicism, the whole world is tied in a knot under the beast. And that knot is strong, man. They wonder after in other words, the religion is on everybody's mind in a sense. You could talk to anybody, during the day. Oh, thank God bless you, and it's all, there's some reference. And that's the world wondering after the beast, man. The world wonder after the beast. On their minds, they consider it, they look at it, they think about it, Now, here we're looking at Daniel's prophecy in Daniel chapter 2. What the Creator has to say about what it means in Daniel chapter 2. The four kingdoms, beast, statue. These represent the successive false god dominions in their earthly empires during the dark portion of the cycle after the earlier light arcs, after Zarathustra or earlier prophets. The four heads, beasts, parallel the four great false gods, Luamong, alias Christ, and confederates like Enochrist and Caballactes, who divided the earth regionally, inspiring war, idolatry, hierarchies, false worship, Christianity, other major religions as bondage systems. The beast imagery symbolizes self-exalted angelic rulers who turn inspirations into systems of masters servants in spiritual darkness. The final stone or kingdom that crushes the image beast is Jehovah's direct light in the cosmic era. No more false gods or dominion. How do you like that? The stone made without hands is the light, is the OAHSPE. Now, the interpretation of the 70 weeks. 70 weeks of Daniel 9. OAHSPE does not treat this as a precise 490-year countdown to Messiah's arrival, crucifixion, or future tribulation. Instead, it aligns with symbolic weeks as dispensational periods like sowing, harvesting, gospel light. One interpretive echo and OAHSPE related discussion ties. One interpretive echo and OAHSPE related discussions ties it to cosmic cycles. 7 times 490 equals 3,430 years. So it's saying here that the 70 weeks is comparative to an arc cycle. That Daniel is describing the 70 weeks as an arc cycle. 70 weeks times 490. I forget what the 490 stands for. I think it's something to do with, let me see, a week being a year, I think. And then, I forget the breakdown. But the 70 weeks is indicative of an arc cycle, is what this is speculating here. I can receive that. 70 weeks, 7 times 490 equals basically an arc cycle, 3,430 years, approximates the orbital rotation cycle of Earth, the great serpent period, bringing renewal, destruction. This fits OAHSPE's teaching that older prophets, including Daniel, era inspirations, measured times of light, dark transitions in symbolic weeks, pointing to the periodic harvest of souls and overthrows of false kingdoms, culminating now in cosmic, where knowledge increases in the cosmic era, where knowledge increases, Pluto going into Aquarius, many shall run to and fro, knowledge shall be increased. Daniel 12:4 says, it is seen as fulfilled in modern science travel. Knowledge being increased, many running to and fro, traveling all over the place. The abomination of desolation, the little horn, time, times, and half a time. These symbolize the peak of false god bondage. The abomination as enforced false worship, idolatry in temples and heavens, like Luamang's Trinity, Savior myths, or Osiris pomp. So now when we look at the pomp of the Catholic Church, all the pageantry and all that, we know where it came from. It came from Osiris rule. I think he was the one that built like these unmatched cities, in his realm. Really glorious and majestic. And it says the little horn as a sub-ruler or revival under a false power, similar to the wounded head in Revelation parallels. And the time periods as durations of tribulations in the lower heavens and earth under false dominion. So the information is speculating that the Great Tribulation is the time that we are in and going through right now, where the beast's power is strongest, to keep men in bondage, to keep them from the light, to keep people from opening the door to the prison, people willingly staying in prison. got the key in your hand, but you don't even want to leave. You don't know how to use the key, or I'm just trying to uh, um, paint a picture of bondage. So it's speculating, what we're reading is speculating that the Great Tribulation is now, where the beast is ruling over the world through religion, keeping them in bondage, will not let them go, making them unable to hear, to see the light. Great Tribulation. OAHSPE says these times, matter of fact, and the Bible says something like, there will never be a time, what does it say? For then shall be great tribulation. Let's look at that. Can we look at that real quick? What it says, for then shall be great tribulation, King James Version. So check this out. This is a famous verse in the world. The whole world, man, knows about this. Y'all know that, right? Check it out. Let's read it. The whole world knows about this. And the Creator is making it clear now that that great tribulation is from the time of darkness of the last cycle. I think the OAHSPE, her Archibald, till now. And check it out. Pray that your flight be not in winter, neither on the Sabbath day. I'd like to ask AI what that means. I think I will if I remember. For then shall be great tribulation, such as was not since the beginning of the world to this time, nor ever shall be. Check this out. And accept those days. Now, I don't know. I can ask AI that too. It says the days shall be shortened. What do y'all think that means? The days shall be shortened. What does that mean, you think? I'm going to ask AI if I remember. And here's a good bunch of verses to ask AI about. The abomination of desolation, when you see Daniel the prophet stand in the holy place. Then let them which be in G. Y'all want to see what this means together? What he says, for then shall be great tribulation, and except those days will be shortened. The elect, talking about faiths. Then if any man shall say to you, lo, here is Christ, or there, believe it not. Check it out. For there shall arise false Christs and false prophets, and shall shew great signs and wonders, and so much that if it were possible, they shall deceive the very elect. Now, we know what that means. That means religion. You see the miracle the Bible is, even though the Creator says it's only a partial revelation, it's a miracle, man. He used it, even though it was hijacked, he used it. It's like he forced it to tell us what we can use, how we can understand it, how it referred to our reality. He said, behold, I've told you before. Wherefore, if they shall say, behold, he is in the desert, go not forth. Or behold, he is in the secret chambers, believe it not. Now he says, for as lightning cometh out of the east and shineth even into the west, so shall also the coming of the Son of Man be. Now, and so forever the carcass is, there will the eagles be gathered together. Now, I can't, I think I could just do a study on this. I'm not prepared to really comment on, the rest of this. But you know what I'm going to be doing now after I get finished with the video, don't you? Y'all could do it too. See, we can sit up here and bless ourselves, man, and watch the world go by, waiting on the resurrection. That's what I do. I love it, man. I'm sitting up here. I'm all afflicted, man. Oh, a lot of days I feel so terrible, but I'd be as happy as I could be, man. You know, I know the body is a temporary thing. It's just temporary thing, man. I love knowing that when it comes to forever, when it comes to eternity, man, it's all good. I love knowing that. And also, it helps you to empathize with the rest of the world, to root for the rest of the world, hoping that they make the resurrection too, man. You know, Creator, change your mind, man. You don't turn to hating nobody no more. Even Trump, I say some hard things about him, but I'm rooting. I get upset with him and people like him when you keep doing things, man, you keep hurting yourself. You hurting yourself, man. You see these people, these leaders, man, and they selling out for the world. They selling their character. They giving away their dignity, man. You doing it for the world for short term. They call it the short money, man. You selling out for the short money, man. It's only a temporary thing. It's just a temporary thing, man. Just like Muhammad Ali said, man. He said it was just a dream, meaning it was here today, it was gone tomorrow. For as lightning cometh out of the east, wherever the carcass is, immediately after the tribulation of those days shall the sun be darkened, and the moon shall not give her light. The stars shall fall from heaven. I don't know. I can't comment on this. I'll be commenting on it in a future video. After the video tonight, I'm gonna go through this chapter. I'm gonna see what the OAHSPE have to say about all this. I can't comment on it right now. I was only gonna do the part, just stay with the one part where he says, what part was I looking at? The little horn. Who was the little horn? Who? The abomination, desolation. The 70 weeks. The abomination of desolation, the little horn, time times half a time. It says these symbolize the peak of false god bondage, the height of their bondage. The abomination is enforced false worship, idolatry in temples, heavens like Luamong's, Trinity, Savior, myths, or Osiris pomp. The little horn is a sub-ruler, a revival of a false power, healing of a wounded head in Revelation parallels. And the time is periods as durations of tribulation in the lower heaven, earth, under false dominion. OAHSPE says these times end when Ethereal forces, true gods like Fragapati's successors, cast down the false gods, binding them in the lower realms. Okay, and now the overall OAHSPE view of Daniel's prophecy. Daniel's visions are seen as inspired, but a partial glimpse of the cycle of light and darkness, prophesying the rise of false gods who seized power after earlier deliverances, created bondage religions, wars, and bound souls for generations. And check it out. For these, ever since the church, the New Testament, people have been bound in religion. Mohammedan religions, Abrahamic religions. That's how long people are bound. In the spiritual as above, so below, man. People, that's what bondage is. When you look at the world and you see people walking around and under religion, under a church, we were bound too. Faithists were bound too until we were set free. See, we were set free from that bondage. See, the rapture happened for us. We going through great tribulation right now, man. It's tribulation because most people ain't going to be free. They're not going to be set free. I mean, somebody tell me if I'm wrong, man. Most people are not going to make the resurrection in this side of reality. They're not going to make it, man. Now, I'm sitting up here hoping that it ain't as long as I think it is in the spiritual, but like that video I was showing y'all, the spirit lands or wandering through the spirit land or a walk through the spirit land or whatever it was called. It seemed to say, I mean, even that video, 30 years among the dead, people, the same mind you see in people now, it's the same mind they got then, man. They got the same mind then, you know? I just don't get it, man. I think that the spiritual is way more glorious than the red star. So how is it that your reality could change, but your mind don't? Can somebody explain that to me? How does that work, man? How can you come in a different reality, but your mind don't change? Well, it will ultimately, the creator said, but just not right away like we would think it would. It says the end, the end, Daniel foresees is not apocalyptic destruction, but the close of the dark cycle. Okay, I like that. I agree with that. The light is going to overshadow the earth. The OAHSPE, the knowledge of the OAHSPE is going to overshadow the earth. It's not going to be like death and destruction like the world is looking for. It's going to be the light overcoming the darkness. People's hearts is going to change. The world, you know how the world, they look for death and destruction. You know what I mean? They expecting a big, the cataclysm, That's what they looking for. OAHSPE said, nope, it ain't going to be that way. It's going to be, it says the end in Daniel foresees not an apocalyptic destruction, but the close of the dark cycle, the end of the darkness. It just like it says, I think in Ezekiel, where the kingdom is going to be like light overspreading the mountains, the dawn spreading over the mountains, subtly, slowly. The end Daniel foresees is not an apocalyptic destruction, but the close of the dark cycle and dawn of cosmic. False dominions overthrown, no more master servants, knowledge floods the world. Knowledge floods the world, fulfilling an increase in knowledge. Souls rise freely to Jehovah's light without intermediaries or false saviors. In short, OAHSPE explains Daniel as a prophetic warning against self-exalted beasts, false angelic rulers and their earthly systems that dominated recent history. But their time is now over. The true kingdom arrives not through a man-God figure or restored temple, but through Jehovah's direct inspiration, equality, and the end of all dominion in the new era. The end of all dominion in the new era. This contrasts sharply with literalist, futurist Christian readings, as OAHSPE reinterprets such prophecies cosmically and historically within its own narrative of angelic cycles and soul resurrection. So the OAHSPE provides its own interpretation. All right, so let's go to the room now, see what's going on. Okay. Um, let's see. Unbreakable Love. I don't know if you're still here. You say, I'm in New Zealand, brother. All righty. It's early. He's in Australia or he's in New Zealand. No, I came in as you were reading last thing, and this is exactly what happened after ascending. And Asenath says the beast with the two horns reminds me of Moses. The beast, the two horns remind you of Moses? Let me see. Let me chew on that. You have to explain that one to me, Asenath. You have to explain that one to me. And then Unbreakable Love says, I'll just give you all a heads up when you're praying to the Lord. Relax, meditate, try to like a daydream, almost of him high will be on his throne like a slab of just hanging out in mid. And brother, I don't understand a word you saying, man, but you're still welcome here. All right. So, brethren, that will conclude my video. The creator condemns high IQ boasters. And also, we looked at the prophecy of Revelation, the beast of Revelation, the four heads, the seven heads, the four beasts. We know what it is. It's religion. It's man-made religion. It's savior religions. So we can see now, we can read the Bible and we can apply the OAHSPE, the knowledge of it, to when you read the Bible. And it just opens another door we had never seen before. The creator is basically, he's saying that the religion, we're in the great tribulation now, a time like no other, meaning false gods have bound men, have been binding them for thousands of years. It should, I hope, it make us appreciate the light, what has been done for us. I hope, man, I hope it make us appreciate what has been done for us. And it also create empathy in you. I mean, when you see that we live where we live, and it caused you, I mean, really, truly, man, I hope y'all get a chance to look at that video, The Wandering in the Spirit Lands, that and 30 Years Among the Dead, because we in a situation, and it's kind of, for us, it's a pretty serious thing because we really outnumber in what we believe and what we, the creator. And so if someone wants to come on and comment or say anything, or just click on the link or share what we have been talking, what I've been sharing, please feel free. Click on the link. We could talk. I'm gonna hang out for a little bit longer. Then, if not, I'm gonna close the video. Mondays, or Fridays and Tuesdays, I'll be here hanging out, trying to share. The name of the video was "The Creator Condemns High IQ Boasters," man. And we that is all around. We live in a reality society that it strengthens that mindset where people, they don't know to look. I mean, it's really a product of the flesh. When you are your own God, when you are serving your own Satan, then you fall into that vibration where You serve yourself. You only see yourself. What matters to you is how it goes. So, all right, brethren, again, let me make the offer. If there's anybody that listens to this video and you want the 6-volume set, the 6-volume set put out by the Unknown Many of the OAHSPE, it's a supplement to the OAHSPE, the 6-volume set. If you're a little short on funds, then by all means, all you got to do is contact me, and I'll be glad to get the 6-volume set for you. This is a blessing. It's going to cover the whole earth, man. It's going to cover the whole earth, the knowledge of it. The Creator said so himself. So all you got to do is contact me, let me know. I'll be glad to get it sent out to you. If you're a little short, don't take advantage of it, brother. But anyway, so brethren, shoot, man. That's the best I can do, brethren. Thank you for joining me. Jehovah, thank you for this opportunity to just try to be a light, spread the light. Let brethren know that we are not the only ones on our journey. There are brethren all over the world, and we're trying to redeem the time, make the resurrection. We live in a situation where it seemed pretty obvious that you're bringing an end to Savior religion. It seems that there is certainly something in the air with the conflicts that are going on. The world, even the Uzians, the people who know nothing of your light, are saying that the world has changed, that the world is changing. This is a different world. And even so, like it says, they still do not see the light, do not hear your voice, and do not see the light. And so for those faiths who have received the light, we know that a great miracle has occurred in our life. And so, Jehovah, thank you. And I just pray you go with us. And until the next video, that you'll be with us to help us to redeem the time. In your name, we give thanks. So let it be. All right, brethren, thank you. Thank you for joining me. Tuesday, 7 p.m. I expect to be back, the Creator willing. Thank you for joining me. And until I see you again, peace be unto all you, brethren.